Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how you can create this abstract loop in Blender. If you're interested, then stick around until the end of the video, so let's get started. First hit Shift A and add a plane and go to Geometry Nodes and click on New. Delete the group input and add a volume cube node. Alt Shift click on it. Now add a volume to mesh node and put that here. Add a mix RGB. Plug the color into the density. Now add a gradient texture. Set it to spherical and plug the color into the color 1. Now add a color ramp. And let's plug the color into the factor as well. Add a Musgrave texture and plug the height into the color 2. Let's set the scale to 15. Now here click on the plus sign, set the position to 0.1 and make it white. Click on it again and set it to 0.2, make it black. And click on it again and set it to 0.3 and make it black again. Click on the plus sign again and set it to 0.4 and make it white. Let's do this for the rest of the color ramp. I'm going to skip that. Now it should look something like this. Add a set shade smooth node. Put that here. Now let's hit Shift A and add a mesh boolean node. Put that here. We also need a set material node. Add a transform node and Alt Shift click on it. Set the X to 0.5. Now add a cube. Plug the mesh into the geometry. Set the scale on the Y and X axis to 2. Hover over the rotation and press I to keyframe it. Now make sure that the plane and the node are selected and open a new window here and set it to Graph Editor. Click on Normalize and click on this drop down here and select the X. Go to the modifiers, add a noise modifier, set the scale to 25 and the strength to 5. Enable Restrict Frame Range and set the end to 250 and the blend in and out to 25. Go up here and copy the modifier and paste that in here. Change the offset and do the same for the set. Now you can close this window again. Connect the geometry to Mesh 2. Alt Shift click on the Set Shade Smooth node. Now let's save. You can leave the resolution here at 32, but I'm going to set it to 64. This might take a few seconds. Go to the material properties, click on New. Now select this material here. Go to Shading. Go to Rendered View. I'm going to use circles for this. And go to the world properties. Set the color to Sky Texture and the sun elevation to 5 and the sun rotation to 45. Set the strength to 0.25. Set the subsurface to 0.03. Now hit Shift A and add a color ramp. Plug the color into the base color. Let's make the black a light orange and the white a dark orange like this. Add a color ramp. Put it here. Plug the color into the factor here and let's duplicate it. Now for this one, bring the white into somewhere around here. For this one, let's bring it in around here. Add a bump node. And let's plug the color into the height and the normal into the normal. And set the strength to 0.4. Add a Musgrave texture. Set the scale to 100. And let's plug the height into the factor here and here. Duplicate the color ramp and let's plug the color into the roughness. Add a noise texture. And set the scale to 1000. Now plug the factor into the factor here and into the metallic here. By the way, if your viewport looks kind of weird, then try pressing 5 on the numpad. I'm going to position my view around here. Hit Shift A and add a camera. Control Alt 0 to go into camera view. These are the exact coordinates that I'm using. I'm going to press G and Z twice to move it like this. And place it here. With the camera selected, go to the Object Data Properties, enable Depth of Field, and here select the plane. Set the f-stop to 0.6 and the blades to 16. Go to Compositing, enable use nodes, add a denoise node set to accurate, and enable denoising data here to get these outputs. Go to the render properties. I'm going to leave the max samples at 128. Now go to the output properties and select a folder. I'm going to name the images rendered images and put an underscore after the name so that Blender automatically assigns numbers to the frames. Click on accept, and I'm going to use JPEG and set the quality to 100%. To speed up the render, you can go up here and enable log interface. You can also go up here and type in persistent data. Just be careful of this because, as it says here, it uses a lot of memory. If it uses too much memory, then just disable it again. So I'm going to enable it, save again, and press Ctrl F12 to render the animation. If you're getting a render like this one where the cube is still visible, then just delete that render. It won't be noticeable in the final loop. Once it's done rendering, close this window, make sure you're on frame 1 and go to video editing. Now go to the output properties, hover over the file location and press Ctrl C. Once it's done rendering, close this window and go to video editing. Make sure you're on frame 1. In the render properties, let's go to color management and set the diffusion form to standard and the look to none. Otherwise the contrast will be applied again and we don't want that. Go to the output properties, hover over the file location and press Ctrl C. Now go to file format and set it to FFmpeg video and the encoding container to MPEG 4. Go to video and set the output quality to high quality. Here hit Shift A, image sequence, and paste in the location minus the name here. And hit enter, press A and enter. If you had to delete one of the images like I had to earlier, then change the end. In my case I had to delete one image, so I'm going to set it to 249. Now let's save again and press Ctrl F12 to render the animation. If you like this tutorial, then you're probably also going to like the one that is on screen now. I'll see you next time.